My brothers and sisters, there are moments in life when the silence of the night feels heavier than ever. You cry into your pillow, your heart aching, your eyes swollen from tears no one else sees. You whisper, Ya Allah, where are you? Why is this happening to me? And it feels as though the heavens are quiet. You look around. Everyone seems happy. Everything seems to be working out for others, while you're the one barely holding it together. You're praying, but the doors remain closed. You're patient, but the pain still lingers. You're hopeful, yet every step forward feels like you're walking through fire. But I want you to pause for a moment, breathe, and listen carefully. Allah has not left you. He's closer to you right now than He has ever been. The very moment you feel like giving up, that's when Allah is the closest. When your tears fall, He counts every drop. When your heart breaks, He is the one who hears the sound of that silence. When the world turns away, He turns towards you. So don't give up. Don't let the pain fool you into thinking you've been forgotten. You're being prepared, not punished. You're being elevated, not abandoned. The very storm you're walking through is the storm that will bring you to your destination. You see, if Allah didn't love you, He would have left you lost in comfort. That's the truth many of us forget. We think pain means distance, when in reality, pain often means attention. When your heartache is, it's not because Allah wants to see you suffer, it's because He wants to see you return. Sometimes the only way we truly call upon Him is when we're brought to our knees. When we have nowhere else to turn, when every door shuts, when every friend walks away, when every effort fails. That's when we finally lift our hands and whisper, Why Allah? I need you. And that whisper, my dear brothers and sisters, is more beautiful to Allah than 1,000 loud praises uttered in times of ease. When you're comfortable, you forget. You delay your salah. You stop crying in sujud. You think you're in control, that your plans are enough, your efforts are enough. But Allah loves you too much to leave you drowning in the illusion of control. So He sends a reminder, a trial, a test, a heartbreak. And in that moment, your heart begins to wake up. You start to see the world differently. You start to remember that this life was never meant to be perfect, that the only perfection lies with Allah. Pain is not punishment, it's purification. It's Allah washing away the dirt of this dunya from your soul, polishing you, refining you, preparing you for something greater. When gold is placed in fire, it's not being destroyed, it's being purified. When iron is struck, it's not being ruined, it's being shaped. Likewise, when Allah allows pain to touch you, He's shaping your heart into something stronger, more beautiful, more connected to Him. Think about the people who came before us, the prophets, the righteous, the believers. They were not free from hardship. Yusuf was betrayed by his own brothers and thrown into a well. Yet, through that darkness, he found his path to the throne. Musa was placed in a river as a baby, raised in the house of his enemy, and forced to flee his home. But through that hardship, Allah made him a leader and a liberator. Even our beloved Prophet Muhammad faced immense pain, the loss of loved ones, the rejection of his people, the weight of revelation. Yet through it all, he remained steadfast, patient, trusting completely in the mercy of Allah. So, if you're in pain right now, don't think Allah has forgotten you. In fact, it might be that He loves you enough to wake you up. It might be that He wants to hear your voice in the quiet of the night, calling upon Him with tears streaming down your face. Those tears are precious to Allah. Every drop counts. Every sigh is heard. Every broken prayer is written. And maybe, just maybe, this pain is what will bring you closer to Jannah. Because sometimes one moment of sincere connection in hardship is worth more than years of empty comfort. When you cry out to Allah from the depths of your soul, that connection can change your entire life. That pain you feel, it's the door to your awakening. It's the call of the most merciful saying, come back to me, I am here. I never left. So, don't curse your pain. Don't let it make you bitter. Let it make you softer, wiser, more grateful. Let it remind you that every time the world disappoints you, Allah never will. The pain you feel is not a sign that Allah is far away. It's a sign that He is closer than ever. Because the broken heart is the one that belongs entirely to Him. Many people lose faith because they believe their dua isn't being answered. They say, I've been praying for months, for years, but nothing has changed. And in that moment, Shaitan whispers, see, Allah doesn't care about you. He's not listening. But that, my dear brothers and sisters, is the greatest deception. Because Allah always listens. He never ignores a single word that escapes your lips. The very fact that you are able to raise your hands and ask is already a sign that He is near. He placed that dua in your heart because He wants to respond to you in the way that is best for you. Sometimes we mistake silence for rejection, but in the divine language of Allah, silence often means, wait. Allah is not in a rush, and He doesn't deal with time the way we do. We live in moments. He plans in wisdom. You might be asking for something now that you are not ready to receive. You might be praying for a person, a dream, a door to open. But Allah, in His infinite mercy, is saying, not yet. You're not prepared for it. If I give it to you now, it might destroy you instead of bless you. Every dua has three possibilities. Allah gives it immediately. He delays it for a perfect time, or He replaces it with something far better. And when He delays or replaces, that is not rejection. It's divine protection. Imagine if you asked for rain and He gave you a flood. Imagine if you asked for love and He gave you someone who would have broken you even more. Sometimes His no is actually the greatest yes you could ever receive. But you'll only understand it when time reveals His wisdom. The truth is, Allah responds in ways we don't always see. When you pray for ease, sometimes He doesn't change your situation. He strengthens your heart. When you pray for guidance, He doesn't always send a sign. He sends a hardship that forces you to grow. When you pray for success, He might first strip away what's holding you back. You may not see the answer now, but He is preparing the stage behind the scenes. You are in the waiting room of His mercy, and every moment you stay patient, you are earning reward far beyond what you can imagine. Look at the story of Zachariah. He prayed for a child until his beard turned white with age. He never stopped making dua. He didn't say, it's too late. He kept calling out with sincerity, with tears, with faith. And one day, when all logic said it was impossible, Allah gave him Yahya. That's the power of a dua that never gives up. Allah hears you even when the world doesn't. And remember, the dua of a broken heart is never turned away. When you raise your hands while your heart is shattered, when your voice trembles and you can barely speak, that's when the gates of heaven open. The angels rush to carry your words to Allah. He listens to you with love, with gentleness, with mercy. He knows the pain behind every word, the wound behind every prayer. So when your dua seems delayed, don't lose hope. Don't stop asking. Keep your faith alive through patience. Every "Wa Allah" you whisper in the dark adds light to your path. The more you call upon Him, the more He loves to hear you. And perhaps the greatest gift of dua is not in getting what you want. It's in becoming closer to the one you're asking from. Because every time you raise your hands, you are admitting that you cannot, but Allah can. You are surrendering your ego and returning to your Lord. So keep calling upon Him, even when the answer is delayed, even when the heart is tired. Because Allah never ignores the sincere caller. He is nearer to you than your jugular vein, and His response is always on its way, not when you want it, but exactly when you need it. The hardship you're facing right now is not random. It's not a mistake, not bad luck, not a punishment meant to destroy you. It's a design, carefully crafted by the one who knows you better than you know yourself. Every trial you face has a purpose, and that purpose is to help you grow, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. You see, Allah never gives a believer a test that doesn't serve their soul. Every difficulty, every heartbreak, every disappointment is custom made for your journey toward Him. Think about it. When a teacher prepares an exam, he doesn't do it to humiliate the student. He does it to measure growth, to prepare them for what's next. And the harder the test, the higher the level that awaits after it. That's exactly how Allah works with His servants. He knows your potential even when you don't. He knows the strength hidden inside you that you've never discovered. And sometimes He has to put you through storms so that strength can be revealed. When you face hardship, you learn things about yourself and about Allah that ease and comfort could never teach you. You learn patience when you're forced to wait. You learn faith when you can't see the outcome. You learn gratitude when everything you took for granted is taken away. You learn humility when you realize you are not in control. And you learn love, true love for Allah, when you realize that He was with you through it all, even when you thought you were alone. Every prophet was tested in a way that revealed their strength. Ibrahim was tested with sacrifice, and through it, his faith became legendary. Yunus was tested in the belly of a whale, and through it, his dua became timeless. Ayub was tested with illness and loss, and through it, his patience became eternal. And our beloved Prophet Muhammad was tested with pain, loss, rejection, and hardship. Yet through it, his heart became the purest, his faith the strongest, and his example the greatest. So when life throws challenges at you, don't think you're cursed, you're chosen. Allah tests those He loves. He's writing your story just as beautifully as He wrote theirs. And every hardship is a page that brings you closer to a divine ending. You may not understand the wisdom behind it now, but one day, when you look back, you'll realize that everything you went through was exactly what you needed. The heartbreak that made you cry, the setback that made you doubt, the loss that broke you. All of it was Allah saying, I'm preparing you for something greater. There are people who found their purpose only after they broke. Some discovered their voice after being silenced. Some found peace after losing everything. Why? Because pain has a way of removing the distractions of the world until only Allah remains. When everything is taken from you, you finally see what truly matters, your connection with Him. And that connection is priceless. So, instead of asking, why me? Start asking, what is Allah teaching me through this? Because every hardship carries a message. Maybe He's teaching you patience. Maybe He's purifying your heart. Maybe He's turning you away from something harmful. Or maybe He's simply reminding you that this world is temporary, that Jannah is forever. Your hardship is your training ground. The fire that feels unbearable right now is molding you into someone stronger, wiser, more faithful. Don't fight the process. Trust it. Allah doesn't test to break you. He tests to build you. So hold on, have sabr, and know that your pain has meaning. You're not being left behind. You're being elevated step by step through every trial toward the person Allah always knew you could become. Every sunrise comes after the darkest night. That's the design of Allah, to remind you that no matter how deep the darkness feels, the light is always on its way. Life is a cycle of tests and triumphs, of sorrow and relief, of despair and hope. When you're in the middle of your pain, it's easy to believe that the night will never end. It's easy to feel like your story is over, that there's no way out, that you'll never smile again. But remember, every story written by Allah has a turning point, and yours will too. Look at the stories of the prophets. They all went through moments of darkness before their dawn arrived. Yusuf was thrown into a well by his own brothers, sold as a slave, and imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit. Imagine the loneliness he felt, betrayed, forgotten, and left in darkness. Yet, in that darkness, Allah was preparing his rise. From the well to the palace, from prisoner to ruler, that's the power of Allah's plan. But it began in a place that looked like the end. Think of Musa as a baby. He was placed into a river, floating helplessly between life and death. Years later, he faced Pharaoh, one of the most powerful tyrants in history. There were moments of fear, of uncertainty, of exhaustion. But every moment of darkness brought him closer to his destiny, leading his people to freedom. The sea didn't split when he was comfortable, it split when he was cornered. The miracle came at the last possible moment, when all seemed lost. That's how Allah works. He waits until your faith is tested to its limit, and then He sends His help in a way that leaves no doubt that it came from Him alone. Even our beloved Prophet Muhammad went through unbearable pain. He was orphaned, insulted, rejected by his own people, and driven out of his home. He saw companions tortured. His heart was broken by the loss of loved ones, and yet he never gave up. In the darkest hour of his life, the year of sorrow, Allah gifted him something extraordinary, the journey of Isra and Mi'raj, where he was raised beyond the heavens and granted the honor of direct communion with his Lord. From the lowest point to the highest, all within Allah's perfect plan. So when you are in your darkest moment, remember your dawn is coming. Allah never leaves a believer in permanent night. The pain you feel right now might just be the final test before your breakthrough. The key is to stay patient when your heart screams for relief, because it's in the waiting, in the trusting, that your faith grows roots deep enough to hold you steady. When the winds of life blow hard, you might think, but I've been waiting for so long. Yes, but remember, Yusuf waited years in prison. Musa waited decades in exile. Even the Prophet waited 13 years in Makkah before victory came. The greater the mission, the longer the preparation. Allah's timing is never late, it's always perfect. The delay you're experiencing is not denial, it's divine precision. And when that dawn finally breaks, when the light floods in, and you realize how everything fit together, you'll say, Subhanallah, now I understand. The pain was not wasted. The tears were not ignored. The waiting was not in vain. Allah was building you, guiding you, and protecting you all along. So don't let the darkness convince you that the sun has died. It's still there, just hidden for a while. Keep walking through the night with faith as your lantern. Because every hardship you endure in patience brings you one step closer to the sunrise that Allah has already written for you. Sometimes all you need to do is talk to Allah. Not in complicated words or rehearsed does, but with the raw honesty of your heart. There's no need to be perfect when you stand before the one who already knows your flaws. You don't need to have the right words, the right tone, or the right timing. You just need sincerity. Allah is closer to you than your jugular vein, and He hears every whisper, every thought, every tear that falls before you can even describe what hurts. We often forget that Allah wants to be spoken to. He doesn't get tired of hearing from you, no matter how many times you repeat the same dua, cry over the same pain, or fall into the same sin before asking forgiveness again. The world gets tired of your tears. People get impatient when you repeat your struggles. But Allah, never. Every time you turn back to Him, He welcomes you. Every time you raise your hands, He listens. Even when your voice trembles, even when you can't find words, He understands the language of your silence. Imagine the one who created the entire universe, the stars, the mountains, the oceans, taking time to listen to you. The same Lord who controls the rise of the sun and the beating of every heart in existence gives you His full attention when you say, Ya Allah. That is love beyond comprehension. That is mercy beyond imagination. When you pour your heart out to Him, you are never speaking into emptiness. You are being heard by the most loving, the most merciful, the one who never turns away. And when you begin to make this your habit, to talk to Allah about everything, your life starts to change. You no longer rely on people to understand you or validate you, because your comfort comes directly from the source of peace. You begin to feel calm even in chaos. You begin to smile even through tears, because you realize that you were never alone, not for a single moment. There's something beautiful that happens when you start speaking to Allah regularly. Your heart softens. Your mind clears. Your soul starts to heal. The burdens that once felt unbearable become lighter, not because they disappear, but because you start carrying them with faith. You start to see purpose in pain, wisdom in waiting, and hope in hardship. You begin to understand that talking to Allah doesn't change Him, it changes you. It reminds you of who you are and who He is, the Creator, the Protector, the one who always listens, even when you've made mistakes, even when you've fallen, even when you think you're too far gone. Talk to Him. The door of repentance is never closed until your last breath. Allah loves the one who returns to Him, no matter how many times they've strayed. Don't let guilt silence your voice. Don't let shame convince you that He won't forgive you. He is not like people. He doesn't bring up your past when you seek His mercy. He erases it completely. So tonight, find a quiet moment. Put your phone away, sit on your prayer mat and speak. Tell Allah what's in your heart, the fear, the confusion, the dreams, the sins, the pain, everything. Cry if you need to. Smile if you feel peace. And know that He's listening. You may not hear a voice in return, but you'll feel something. A calmness, a clarity, a comfort. That's His reply. The truth is, Allah has never left you. He's always been there. In your laughter, in your tears, in your silence, and in your struggles. You just have to open your heart and talk to Him again. Because when you do, you'll realize the thing you were searching for all along wasn't far away. It was Him. He's been waiting closer than you think, ready to listen, ready to heal, ready to bring you back home. My beloved brothers and sisters, life will test every part of you. There will be moments when you feel lost, broken, forgotten. Moments when you think you've reached your limit. But remember this. Allah has never left you. He has been with you through every tear, every struggle, every silent prayer. The same Lord who gave you strength to survive yesterday will give you strength to rise again today. Don't give up. Don't let pain convince you that you're alone. Every trial is a message. Every delay is a lesson. And every hardship is a sign that Allah is shaping you for something greater. The same way He brought light after darkness for Yusuf and victory after years of struggle for our beloved Prophet, He will bring light into your life too. When you can't see the way forward, trust that Allah already has the path written. When your heart feels heavy, remember that He is closer to you than your own soul. Talk to Him, cry to Him, rely on Him, because He's the only one who truly understands you. And one day you'll look back and say, Subhanallah, every pain I went through was worth it because it brought me closer to Him. So hold on, keep believing, keep walking in faith even when your eyes can't see the light yet, because your dawn is near, and Allah never forgets the one who puts their trust in Him. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who's struggling right now. You never know whose hope you might reignite. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so together we can keep spreading light, faith, and the remembrance of Allah to every corner of the world.